Hey everyone, this is Prince J. So we had a Sony PlayStation State of Play take place earlier this afternoon, and I wanted to share with you some of my favorites that were shown. So let's get to it. First up is 007 First Light. This one comes from the developers of the now 28-year-old Hitman stealth action series of video games. And what a great franchise they've taken on. It's potentially one of the most appropriate third-party IPs that IO could ever have hoped to land, and they finally did it. This game's been on the radar for a few years now. So you're going to be playing as a younger James Bond before he's earned the infamous 007 moniker. I'm looking forward to this one. I've been a James Bond fan since before GoldenEye. I'd watch loosely old reruns of the Sean Connery James Bond films, whenever they were on old network television at the time back in the early 90s. And I'm curious to see how dialogue plays a part in the gameplay. From this trailer, it seems there will be moments in which, you're able to potentially embody the charm of being James Bond when it comes to his interactions with non-player characters. Whew, and what talk about action-packed. You got glimpses of gameplay involving crazy shootouts and car chases to boot. I really wasn't expecting the car chases at all. I know that's like a staple of James Bond in the movies, but to see it in a game that's not just like strictly a racing game was pretty cool. So I'm looking forward to seeing more of 007 First Flight in 2026. Next up is Bloodstained, The Scarlet Engagement. And I gotta say, this one really disappointed and surprised me. I really thought this was going to be a new Castlevania. Part of me is a bit glad that it wasn't. That isn't the case. Personally, would have like a new pixel art or hand-drawn Castlevania title, similar to what they're doing with the upcoming Ninja Gaiden and Shinobi reboots. I mean, shout out to Streets of Rage 4 and Lizard Cube for really giving me more faith in modern 2D side-scrollers. This game looks cool, and I'm open to 3D rendered side-scrollers. I loved the Strider reboot from over 10 years ago back in 2014. I enjoyed the original Bloodstained for the short amount of time I did play it. To be fair, I was playing through Castlevania Requiem, the combo that contained Rondo of Blood and Symphony of the Night. Both those games I felt were vastly superior in their overall design, even though mechanically they were quite similar. But this game, I really think it looks like a nice improvement over the first Bloodstained. The graphics and the cutscenes in particular are excellent, and the combination of them with the old school gameplay featuring a more anime-esque cel-shaded look make for a pretty cool throwback combination to the 90s, like with PC games and PSX and Saturn games that featured pre-rendered graphics to kind of move the story along. It's really strange how that's more rare, and almost all games now have pretty stellar in-game graphics to show off on both fronts. So Bloodstained, The Scarlet Engagement, feels like a bit of a tiny breath of fresh air. We'll see in 2026 whether or not it was a breath that was worth holding. Alright, next we have Marvel Tokon. Arc System Works knocks it out of the park with this announcement of a collaboration between themselves, Marvel, and PlayStation Studios. We're not getting 2-on-2, we're not even getting 3v3. Arc Systems is going all in with a brand new 4v4 fighting mechanic. I mean, at first glance, I thought this was another Marvel vs. Capcom entry. I was taken aback to see the game exclusively featuring Marvel characters with a distinct Japanese tokusatsu and anime-inspired appearance. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm really impressed with the visuals and the brief glimpses of how fights could play out. We got super attacks, destructible backgrounds, stage transitions, and air juggling, just to name a few things I saw. And knowing the quality of Arc Systems Works' past fighting games, including Guilty Gear and Dragon Ball FighterZ, I'm pretty sure we're in for a special treat come next year. It seems like fighting games are alive, well, and thriving. I loved Ninja Gaiden growing up. It was the first game that frustrated me to the edges of hell and back, but I kept coming back for more until I finally beat the first two. I sort of fell off by the time Part 3 came about, and I didn't pick the series back up again until the incredible Xbox Classic Ninja Gaiden reboot that came screaming bloody murder into existence. The originals were particularly impressive to me because they felt like I was taking part in an interactive anime to some degree. Plus, the music was fucking kick-ass. Ninja Gaiden Ragebound looks to be a beautiful reimagining of the series' roots as a 2D action platformer, with anime-inspired story elements and visuals still. And Ryo Hayabusa the main series protagonist is featured, but he takes a back seat in the story to these two newcomers, Kinji and Kumori. The pixel art is gorgeous, and it seems to move smoothly. And the small bits of music we've been exposed to, they bring back so many memories of the old NES tracks. I mean, I can hardly wait to dive into Ninja Gaiden, possibly truly appropriately titled Ragebound, when it releases later this year at the end of July. Next is the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection. Back in the 90s, arcades were everywhere. And no game brought the crowds in quite like a new Mortal Kombat cabinet, I tell you. It was always an event. Crowds of 20 plus people gathered around a single machine, either waiting their turn with a coin firmly placed in the queue on the bottom sides of the screen, or just enjoying the spectacle. I haven't played a traditional old school Mortal Kombat in years. But boy, do I remember the thrill of seeing fatalities and wondering what the next installment was going to be like and when it would show up unexpectedly in our local tilt or our power play. I mean, what a treat to be able to play these games again. I mean, they even included the ports from the Game Boy, Super NES, Genesis, 32X, come on, and more titles that haven't even been revealed yet. I'm really, really hoping that we finally get a port of Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks. I mean, that game is such a fun hidden gem that I nearly passed up when I saw that my brother had a copy, and I just decided to play it on like a whim, basically one summer. And I loved it so much that I played through the entire game again with my brother. So definitely looking forward to pick up Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection later this year. Romeo is Dead. What the hell did I just watch? Can it actually be that the legendary punk game designers Grasshopper Manufacture and their golden boy Suda51 are back again with their first all-new franchise since the third installment of No More Heroes? I mean, I gotta tell you, what a wild mix of interesting visual comedy, ultra-violent gore, and some pretty tough-looking gameplay. Some of the imagery really reminded me of Masaaki Yuasa's Mind Game, combined with homages to all of Grasshopper Manufacture's previous titles. I mean, the game looks pretty amazing visually, and I'm curious to know what the hell the story is behind this new guy named Romeo Stargazer. Space travel seems to play a part in this sci-fi action-adventure, and I feel like it will be a decent rival, or maybe even inspiration, to Naughty Dog's equally amazing-looking Intergalactic. Romeo is Dead is set for release in 2026. Thank you guys for joining me today. I really enjoyed watching this state of play. There were some really cool games. Very excited to see what's coming out next year and to see what's even coming out at the end of this year. And some of them just coming out within a month. If you guys would like to see more videos like this, please like and subscribe. And I'm going to be posting anyway, but I'd like to hear your suggestions and hear your feedback as well. But I hope you enjoyed this, and this has been Prince J, signing out.